So yeah, Tread. I'm gonna be honest with you, man, I generally don't gravitate towards documentaries necessarily. Like, yeah, I reviewed The Dangerous World of Comedy. There was also The Tiger King, but let's be honest, what reviewer on YouTube wasn't talking about Tiger King when it first came out? Beyond that, I haven't really covered a whole lot of documentaries, and it's largely because documentaries aren't my jam, and I don't hate documentaries, but the topic really has to fascinate me. It has to be something that grabs me by the bill of the hat and says, "Watch me! This topic is fascinating!" And I'm like, okay, you're ripping the hat, seriously. Ugh, my wife gave me this for my birthday. I can't afford to lose it. A lot of the times, documentaries just cover topics that I don't find fascinating, and other times they cover topics I find infuriating, whether it be on a trivial level like how I'm a horrible human being because I like Apu from The Simpsons, to something that I got way more angry over than I probably should have, like don't fuck with cats. And I say I shouldn't have gotten so angry over don't fuck with cats because basically that's what that guy wanted. He wanted you to be angry. He wanted your blood to boil. He wanted you to be absolutely furious with him, because it's the only way he could maintain an erection, I guess. That's usually why a lot of guys like that do what they do, but I digress. Then we get to Tread, and it's funny that I bring up Don't Fuck With Cats, because Don't Fuck With Cats is a documentary about a guy who, despite leaving a very obvious trail of breadcrumbs, was way too smart for his own good. How he managed to trick people, how he managed to evade custody on multiple occasions, despite the fact that he was clearly advertising he was the one who was doing it. We basically depart that territory for the opposite side of the spectrum. The guy who basically built his own killdoser. No, I'm not joking. The story of Tread is basically the story of Marvin Yeemeyer, a man who basically quit the Air Force and founded a muffler shop and tried to build his own little auto part empire, or some sort of welding business empire. But unfortunately, a lot of really technical details like connecting your septic tank to a sewer line got in the way, and he interpreted everything that the county was throwing at him with stuff like that as basically them attacking him, laughing at him, etc. And he felt that the only logical conclusion to dealing with all of this was to basically spend the last year of his life building a killdozer and going on a massive rampage throughout Colorado. And I have been assured that this is an actual thing that happened in 2004. This is not a joke. This is not a fictional account of any sort. This actually happened. And the fact that I don't remember it happening baffles me. I can't believe I never heard this story. It wasn't until somewhere around the tail end of the documentary that I found out why this story mostly got obscured. It's because Ronald Reagan passed away literally the very next day, and that was all anybody could ever talk about, was the death of Ronald Reagan. I'll be honest, I didn't agree with Ronald Reagan's politics. I mean, I genuinely believe that trickle-down economics is the worst idea anyone ever had, and frankly, we should be ashamed of ourselves for hanging on to this delusional belief as long as we have. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of sad that a former United States president died, I suppose, but even then, you know, like even the death of a United States president, sad as it is, it still seems like a killdozer would probably take higher precedence in terms of like long-term memory. Of course, my wife did kind of bring up that Mother Teresa and Princess Di kind of died around the same time, but everybody remembers Princess Di a lot better than Mother Teresa because, well, Princess Di was famous. Who the hell was Marvin Yeemeyer? I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing his name right. In any case, this is a really good documentary. I love the way it's presented. Apparently, Marvin Yeemeyer made tapes before he went on his epic rampage, basically his manifesto. It's what people in 2004 did back then because there was no 8chan or Gab.com back in the day, so I mean, you gotta do something with that pent-up rage, and I guess, you know, tape recording seemed like the most logical thing to do in 2004. a time when cassette tapes were basically on their way out, but what do I know? They take these tapes and they play them back to back with the testimonies of the various people who have met him or who contended with him or possibly even befriended him or got married to him. And it's amazing how the picture that Marvin tries to paint in the tapes is a completely different picture that everybody else is painting, to the point where Marvin might as well not even be painting. He might as well be just like rubbing his butt in paint and just leaving like little butt prints all over everything, while everybody else is painting the Mona Lisa. Oh, and you just gotta love how, at the end of the tapes, Marvin Yeemeyer is talking about how I'm on a mission from God, God is my captain, and, you know, the bulldozer that I eventually turned into this monstrosity, it didn't get sold because God wanted me to go on this glorious rampage, and that this is the will of God, this is God striking his vengeance down, and I am but his co-pilot, etc. Why does God always talk to crazy people? I guarantee you 99% of the budget in this movie went towards building a replica of the killdozer based on the specs that other people laid out and possibly filling in the blanks, and just filming themselves rampaging through a replica of town, just, you know, to kind of try and recreate the rampage itself. They probably spent the entire documentary budget on that alone, and they probably spent the remaining 1% on paying the guys they interviewed to kind of get the basic gist of how Marvin Yeemeyer was a complete and total lunatic. This is the kind of topic that makes you shake your head and wonder, why? But at the same time, it's just fascinating. And the fact that this actually happened, and the fact that we forgot about it, and the fact that this thing isn't even around anymore. They took this thing apart the moment it was all said and done. They made sure nobody could recreate this monstrosity ever again, which, okay, I can see why they did that, but at the same time, it's like, you are missing a golden opportunity for a tourist trap. I think somebody even admits that in the documentary at one point. Bottom line, see this documentary. I may have spoiled a lot of it for you, but even then, you still need to see this documentary. This story needs to be told. It needs to be known. Share it with the world. 4 hats out of 4. I'm not even going to try and build up the suspense on that. Just 4 hats out of 4. And that's going to do it for this week's Netflix review. Tune in next time and I'll have something else for you. Until then, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and stay tuned for more Tommy Teal Hat flavored goodness. Until next time.